and audio, like, human resources and safety. And again, those 30 and 60 and 15-second commercials as well. Top quality voice work is what it's all about for you, your business, your group, your organization. Let's hear about your next project. One more time, email us in the subject line, voice work, audio work, Hamilton admin, I should say, at hamiltonradio.net. So back to listening. Listen all day, every day. Go to the new hamiltonradio.net website. Again, hamiltonradio.net. Log on, tune in, turn on, crank it up, wherever it is you are. Play it all day. Like they used to say, those hot rock and flame throwing stations from back in the 80s, turn it up and rip off the knob. Well, yeah, there's no knob, but just leave it alone. hamiltonradio.net. Okay, so as I have said and about what I do here, I put together my shows, my monologues, my op-ed piece, so to speak, my stuff, my topics, based a lot on things that I've seen, stuff that I've done, places I've been, or events I've experienced, or conglomeration of all of them. Okay, plus I also get a kickstart every now and again, an inspiration, from a lot of people, names who maybe you don't know, who I'm going to tell you about, and names that maybe you do know. People like Rush Limbaugh and Steve Harvey, Joel Osteen, Zig Ziglar, Tom Hopkins, Chris Lytle. I'm trying to think who the heck else. Earl Nightingale, going way back. Even people, dig this, even people like Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, that's going back about 100 years or more. And even the very fantastic Ronaldus Magnus. Yeah. That's Ronald Reagan, for those of you from Grover, Pennsylvania, by the way. Today, I'm going to continue to combine more of my personal foundational positions that have evolved within me over the last, 2, 3, 3.5 decades or so. I may sprinkle in a little of the philosophies of various people, like those I just mentioned, or I just may keep it experiential from my standpoint here, and hopefully it's going to resonate with you. It's 58 years and 4 months and change on the planet. I like to think that, well, maybe I haven't been everywhere, man, but I mean, I've done a good bit. I've done some things that, the regular Joe or Josephine just maybe doesn't do. And I've done a lot of the things that the regular folks, quote unquote, do. So in any event, and whatever manifestation, I really am trusting that you're going to get it about today's message. And every day that I do this, every week, it's if it's not a lead pipe cinch to get it, that's okay. You should at least understand what I'm driving at, the foundational premises. You may be over here when I'm over there. It's all right. You know what? It's okay. It's okay to have different varying points of view. That's why Breyers makes vanilla and chocolate and all those flavors. You know what I mean? So in any event, what I do, and you know this, but it's always worth repeating. What I do is I provide information. Like I tell my son, I used to, when he was younger, I was the what you want to do guy with my son. He's almost 26 now. And when he was 14, 15, 13, 18, whatever, the what you want to do guy was, kind of necessary maybe. But after a while, you get tired of the what you want to do guy, because he's always saying, no, what you want to do is you want to zig, you don't want to zag, because let me tell you why. And then it's 18 more minutes of why you should zig and not zag. No, I'm not going to do that. When he brings, for example, when my son brings up some issues that he's trying to wrap his mind around, I will tell him, I will recount something that is very similar. And I'll say, son, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you about something similar. And here's the bottom line. It's information. Do with it what you will. Okay. Take what you can leave. Take what you can use. I beg your pardon. Leave the rest. Same thing here, folks. I'm giving you information. I'm giving you, whether it's factual, experiential, informational, or a conglomeration of all of the above. I'm giving out information into space, into the ether, for you to do with it what you will. All of it, most of it, some of it, a little of it, maybe very little of it, maybe even none of it, other than, oh, got it. Because, hey, you may think differently, and that's okay. Again, Take what you can use, leave the rest. Okay, it's really that simple. Um, it's about the message, kids. It's just about the message, the words, the thoughts, the take, the philosophies. And with that, our collective collaborative abilities that we truly can be and put to work as part of, attaining the common ground that we're all after. So ta-da, there it is. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go off script, no script today. I've got bullet points. I've got about a baker's dozen bullet points. And I'm not going to drone on for all afternoon because you don't need that. I don't need that. Nobody needs that. But back to my son. Again, he'll be 26 here in a couple of months. He's married, a little over almost a year and a half now. He's got twin little boys who are just a few months over a year old. They're doing very great. My little grandsons, Blake and Crew, along with Daddy Jack and Mom Lindsay. Everybody's doing great. And I have to think that, especially where the Jack component of this, Jack being my son, where the Jack component about all this is concerned, it maybe has something to do with some stuff I used to say and still say to him. But as soon as he was old enough to kind of get it at, like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years old, whenever I tuck him into bed or whenever I would drop him off to school or at a friend's house, or practice or what have you, if I wasn't coaching, I'd say, okay, you know what? Here we go. Don't forget, Jack. Be good. Now I'm going to read these, okay? So excuse me. No, but I would say, but don't remember the B's, Jack. The B's to live by. And, depending upon his age, it would be, okay, Daddy, as a little boy to, all right, Dad, sounds good. Like last week. Be good. Be nice. Behave. Be kind. Be patient. Be respectful. Be a friend. But take no undue crap from anybody, ever. Got it? Be coachable. Be professional. Be strong. Be a leader. And always be your best. Now, there's more. There could be a myriad of more B's, but these are the ones basically that have laid the foundation. And I don't know where I came up with this. It's just one of these times. I'm going to say probably back in around 2000, 2001 at tuck time one night. It was, okay, Jack, well, good night, buddy boy. Don't forget, be good, be nice, behave. Okay, and then be good, be nice, behave, be kind, be respectful, when you go to a preschool tomorrow. Okay, and be a friend, but, don't let anybody give you the business. Okay, well, as you got older, you can be a friend, but take no crap, take no shit from anybody. Okay. Billy Joel used to say that at the end of his concerts, hey, thanks so much. Have a great night. Be good to each other, but don't take any crap from anybody. You know what? He was right. So here we go. Be good. Be good. The first one. It's always the first one. You know what? We were told that. How many times were we told that in whatever manifestation as kids growing up? And I mean, little kids, grade school kids, preteens, teenagers, high school kids, even college kids or early 20s kids, okay? Because we were still kids back then. If my mother and dad were alive, guess what? At 58, I'd still be one of the kids. So there you go. But we were always told, hey, be good. Be good. You be good. Okay, I will. Or when like your aunt and uncle or Mr. and Mrs. so and so would leave, after coming over for a while. It's like, all right, John, it was good to see you. Hey, be good. All right, yeah, I'll see you next time, Mr. Smith. And that was that. Be good. I even have guys who I know who are contemporaries of mine, who I'll see from time to time. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Yeah, good to see you too, John. Listen, I gotta let you go. Be good. I'll see you later. All right, you too, Pally. Take her easy. It's as simple as that. Be good. Why would you not want to be? Now, there are those who don't want to be, and those are not the people you want to hang around, okay, or hang around with. Because I got to tell you, it rubs off. You've heard this. I've heard this. We've all heard this before. It can be so much easier to go to the negative quicker than it is to be up and positive. and happy and upbeat and can do and of good cheer. I don't know why that is. It's just so easy, for some. And again, it's a lot of it was some of the like Depression era kids. Like my parents were children of the Depression. My buddy Bob's parents were kids of the Depression, and I remember him always talking, even recently, about his mother. God love her. She lasted until she was, I think, 93 or 4 years old a couple of years ago. But it was always one of these. Hey, I just won, $5,000 in a scratch off. Uh, you're going to have to pay taxes on that. Really? Thanks, Mrs. Wet Blanket. Appreciate it. But, even with those people, we were always told by those folks, by the people who were older, whether it was people who were children of the Depression era or people who were children of the turn of the century era, like my grandparents. Be good. Okay. Okay. So you know what? Be good. That's all. Do the right thing. Buddies of mine in college, they grew up just outside of Trenton in Ewing Township, and there was a restaurant. I think after their freshman and sophomore, or even freshman, sophomore, junior year of college, that they worked at over summer breaks, called the Glendale Inn, in the Glendale section of Ewing Township. I mean, you spit across the street, it's Trenton. It's on the out like the Frog Hairs, the outlying areas of the Italian Chambersburg neighborhood of Trenton, New Jersey. Nice place. The Glendale Inn looked like something out of Casablanca, like out of like 1940 and 1945. Just a wonderful place. The piano was up behind the bar, tilted so you could look at the piano player, and he was tilted up at you. Wonderful place. Tony Ligi was the guy who owned the place. Him and his brothers ran restaurants in the Trenton area, and Tony had the Glendale Inn. And he was famous for saying, "Damn it, you got to do the right thing. I can't be everywhere. Look at on these are tables. There've been a couple of groups in and out of these tables already tonight, and now we got a problem. There's no butter. We got butter and the ice. Remember they would put a little dish of butter, little squares of butter and ice to keep the butter cold. That's what they did at the Glendale. So he would admonish my buddies, come on now, the right thing to do. Do the right thing. Get rid of that melted butter. Get us some ice. Get some new butter and put them out on the table, because now we got to do the right thing. Damn it, you got to do the right thing." And it got to become even a bit of an internal joke, to the one bartender guy who was, I think, I don't know what variation, but he was Hispanic, and he never got it right, evidently. I went to visit one time over my sophomore junior year over Christmas breaks. "Come on, John, we're going to go to the Glendale. I'm going to show you this place." Sure enough, there was the bartender, Jose. He said, "Damn it, you got to do it right." Okay, that's not how it goes. It's, "Damn it, you got to do the right thing." So be good. Do the right thing. Be nice. Number two, be nice. Have you ever watched the movie Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze? As he's putting together his little constituency of bouncers and well, he's the cooler. Everybody else is the bouncer. So he runs the bouncer show while everybody else looks at him for guidance. And he's standing up front of everybody, and the first time he's there, he's like, "Be nice." "Well, what if these people are jerks?" "Be nice." "But what if they this?" "Be nice." "Well, what if they say that?" "Be nice." "What if they call my mother a whore?" "Is she?" Be nice. Okay? Until it's time to not be nice. And every once in a while, you know it, I know it, there's a time to not be nice. Now, I'll tell you this about that personally. It was real easy for me previously in younger times, in former days, to go to the not nice real fast. And it seldom, if ever, was the ticket. It just wasn't. Okay. So don't do that. Okay. Be good. Be nice. Now, again, if there's a glaringly apparent reason to not be nice, then you know what? Deal with it and be done with it quickly. Simple as that. Simple as that. So be good, be nice, behave. Well, you know, you say tomato, I say tomato, but still behave, do good things, go down the right path, do stuff that is above board. Let me tell you what, your gut will tell you if you're into something that a little hinky, okay? I had an opportunity at some point in the not too recent past to get myself involved with, shall we say, a promotional opportunity whereby a supposed major soft drink brand was launching a new energy drink product, and for a pretty decent amount of money, supposedly, if I put that logo on my vehicle, and drove it around just like I do every day, they were going to give me a pretty notable amount of money. And at the beginning of this, it seemed reasonably okay. The more I peeled back this onion, the more it just started to smell. It just sort of stank to high heaven. Something gave me an uneasy feeling right down in my gut. Pardon me. It just, that feeling. You know that feeling to, man, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here, you know? And I got a hold of the guy, um, Brandon Miller. Oh, really? Is that really your name? Anyway, I got a hold of Brandon Miller and said, you know what? I'm out. Before we get any deeper into this, I'm out. I'm done. And I just think it was a good thing that I did. So I behaved properly for me because my gut told me, behave. This is not the ticket. It looks like the ticket, but when you peel back the layers of that onion, when you pull back the covers on that comfy looking little bed right there, ooh, it's a bed of nails. Don't do it. So be good, be nice, behave. You know how to do it. Now, number 4 is be kind. Tell you what, um, and it's a sad commentary on one hand, but it's human nature again on the other to quickly go to the negative more so than the positive. Sometimes being kind is easier said than done, especially nowadays with all this BS flying around. And I don't mean Barbara Streisand. No, no, no. And even that, oh, no thanks. But I digress. With all this BS floating around, flying around, literally or figuratively, about pick the topic, whether it's health, whether it's politics, whether it's, I don't know, Taylor ham versus pork roll. That's a big debate here in New Jersey, I have to tell you. Ongoing, never stops. Whether it's one thing or another, it's real easy to get snipey, snarky, and unkind. Again, my one friend who I've known for 51, 52 years, he says, yeah, I think it started right around the time that Friends came out. You got that Chandler Bing was very sarcastic, and I don't disagree. Very popular show, but let's go back even several years before that. That was also a very popular thing for people to watch. Married with Children. You want to talk about some snipey, snarky, sarcastically inappropriate characters, yet we all identified with them. So were they really inappropriate? Yes and no. You know what I mean. You've got Married with Children, Peg and Al Bundy, just at each other, on each other like tacky cheap suits in a rainstorm. And we all thought it was funny until some of us thought otherwise. I saw a clip of Married with Children not too long ago, within the last week or so, and I started laughing. And then as it went on, I stopped because I don't know about you, but whether she's my wife, she's my friend, she's my girlfriend, she's my significant other, she's my person, whether we've got a marriage certificate saying so or not, whomever it is, okay, has been, would be, will be. I don't want to. I don't want to throw her under the bus. I don't want to toss her. Take a breath. That's all you need when you're ready to shoot back with, yeah, well, nothing. You know what? You're looking pretty great today, sweetheart. Or, yeah, well, yeah, well, nothing. Thanks, honey. I appreciate you, going to the store for me again. No problem. or whatever the thing is. So be good, be nice, behave, be kind. Number 5 is be patient. Don't know how many of you are basketball fans, sports fans of any ilk, but let me explain something. You may remember back in the 90s, the Chicago Bulls NBA basketball team was really, really good. What do they have? 5, 6 championships in the space of 6 or 7 years? I mean, they were just en fuego, on fire. Okay, just something else. They had Michael Jordan, enough said, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, John Paxton, Dennis Rodman, Luke Longley. I mean, please, there was not a clinker in the carload as far as the players who were there, even the ones who left and other ones who came in. Great team. And the thing of it is, I'm going to get to this one later, they were professional. It's another one. That's another B down the line. But they were professional. And the coach, Phil Jackson, a former NBA player as well, by the way. I think he played for the Knicks amongst whatever other teams, but regardless, Phil Jackson was asked at the pinnacle of the Chicago Bulls' success. Pardon me, they were damn near unbeatable. They really were. If you weren't around or weren't a fan back then, you missed out on some truly special sports moments. But at any rate, they asked Coach Phil Jackson, how is it, Coach, that this team is just continually and continually and continually so darned good? He said, here's the thing. There are 2 schools of thought. There is the Western school of thought, whether it's here or Europe or Canada or what, of come on, let's have some action. We got to make this happen. Make it happen. Okay. And he said, early on in my time here with the Chicago Bulls, we had to make lots of things happen because we were not a good team. The Chicago Bulls was not a good club. They didn't win a lot of games. They didn't really have it together. So we had to make things happen. Come on. Again, let's have some action. Hurry up. Now, a few years in, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years in, we've got some championships under our belts. We're looking like we're on a run for another one. So I've got these guys. I've got Jordan, Pippen, Horace Grant, John Paxton, Steve. I've got them all. They know what they're doing. I just need to tilt them just a little bit every now and then. Just nudge them, tilt them. And then I just embrace the Eastern, more Zen-like philosophy, which you find a lot of the Far Eastern countries, the Asian countries, used to be called the Oriental countries, but you can't say Oriental no more. This just in. I still say it, but I digress. A lot of the Far Eastern, they embrace the Zen-like, let it happen, versus the Western, make it happen. Come on. No, let it happen. Let it happen. So once you know, folks, this is the be patient portion. Once you know what you are, where you want to go, even roughly speaking, put the foundational elements down. You've got to make those things happen. Make it happen early on. And then you know what? Everything else will just fall into, again, it's the Fabergé Organics TV commercial for the shampoo from the late 70s, early 80s. And I told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and so on and so on and so on. Before you know it, you had, 58 people on the screen versus just I told 2 friends and they told 2 friends, and it just grew by itself. Funny that it's a Fabergé Organics because it grew by itself organically. See what I just did there? Thank you very much. So be good, be nice, behave, be kind, be patient, be respectful. Number 6, be respectful. Do that as much as possible, if not as a matter of course. Be respectful. Be respectful. I was involved with semi-professional football for a good many years, from about 1999, 2000 until about a year and a half, not even about a year ago. till about a year ago. Okay, so what's that? 22 years. Okay, I was involved with semi-professional, semi-pro football as a team owner, as a player, as a coach, as a league commissioner slash co-commissioner. I mean, whatever. Now, okay, let's go back just a year. At then 57, I was one of the old guys around the league. I really was, because let me tell you something that you probably can surmise very quickly. Football, whether it's the guys you see in college or the guys you see on Sunday in the NFL, or the guys you're seeing these weekends now in the XFL, or the guys who you're gonna see in about another 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks with the USFL, football is a young American football, that is, of course, is a young man's sport. It's a young person's sport. It is. It's not a contact sport. It is a collision sport. Okay. And for me to have hung around as a player until my late 40s and then hanging around again into my mid to late 50s, I was the old man. However, there are now some other elder statesmen who are still in the league that I helped to found and then was a part of up until about a year ago. And one of the young guys from one of the other teams who I'm friends with on social media, he had a birthday yesterday. And one of, again, these elder statesmen, and this is how his name is Nick. This is how Nick is. It's sir, ma'am, please, thank you. Not necessarily in that order. So I'm going through, and you see the thing on the faceplates there, to where so and so, such and such, and what's his names have birthdays today. So I go on there for Buddy's birthday, who's, I don't know, he might be 30. Okay, might be 30, and Nick. I don't know that he's 50 yet, but it won't be long. I mean, he's probably it might be a little long. He's probably about in his early 40s, maybe. Okay, but problem. The situation is Nick is older than birthday guy. I can't remember his name. Doesn't matter. And what does he say? He gets on there. Happy birthday. Enjoy your day, sir. And it's always sir, ma'am, and thank you, and please, and just that kind of vibe. Very respectful. Very respectful. Age be damned. This is some guy, Nick's Jr., younger than Nick, and it's happy birthday. Enjoy your day, sir. There you go. Be respectful. And especially be respectful to those that have maybe some time and experience on you. Seriously. I can't tell you how it just, unless permission is absolutely given, I cannot tell you how it just goes right up my back, and not in a good way, to where I see younger people talking to older people, a generation or two or more older, and calling them by their first name. Remember the Brady Bunch years ago? If you're old enough to remember the Brady Bunch, you'll remember, I think it was the Johnny Bravo episode where they picked the oldest Brady boy, Greg, to be the lip sync rock and roll icon, Johnny Bravo. Why? Not because Greg was good at singing, because you fit the suit, man. Well, first of all, that was a lot of BS. But second of all, when young Greg at about 17 in the show got tapped to be Johnny Bravo, he comes down. He comes down for breakfast one day to the people who are playing his mom and dad, Mike and Carol Brady, played by Robert Reed and Florence Henderson, by the way. So he comes flouncing into the kitchen, and hey, good morning, Greg. Good to see you. Hey, Mike. Good morning, Carol. Whoa. Mike says, I don't care what you do anywhere else, but around here, we're still mom and dad. And he's like, oh, right. Same thing. Unless you were told, and I've been told by people, and I still, like even one of my coaches when I played football in Wilkes-Barre 22 years ago, Coach Evans. Coach Evans is an Army sergeant, a veteran. He's no longer active duty, but he's an Army sergeant. He's a disabled veteran, but he is just top shelf as far as his love for the military and his love and acumen for football. But I was never in the military, but I got to know this man, And the first thing comes out of my mind for someone like him is, you better call him sir. Well, I got to know very quick, and again, unless they tell you otherwise, I got to know very quickly that that's not what he wanted to be known by. Sir, what do you mean, sir? I'm your coach. Call me coach. Call me coach. Yes, sir. Yes, coach. Right. And anytime one of us would call him sir, because he just exuded that respect. That's the thing. He exuded the necessity for respect. Anytime we called him sir, he had this big ring. Remember, like the big bulbous golf ball looking golden class rings with the gem in the middle? He had this big honking championship semi-pro football ring, and he would wham on our helmets. Now, it didn't hurt physically, but the crack of that ring on that hard plastic helmet shell inside your ears, tucked inside that hard plastic helmet shell, ooh, it was loud and it hurt your ears. So you made sure to not call him sir. Yes, coach. Thank you, coach. Appreciate it, coach. You've got it, coach. Looking very great, coach. Theillon, sorry, but you are. Give me 10. I'm just saying. Coach Evans, man, I love that guy. I absolutely do. But again, respect. It was sir to Coach Evans until he told me, no, please, coach. No, sir, coach. Okay. So from then on, it was yes, coach. But be respectful. Have that as a go-to. And again, especially with people who've got time, info, knowledge, and experience on their side. And even if maybe they don't, it may just be they've got time. You know, you're 40 and this person is 51, or you don't know how old they are. You just know that they're older than you. Respect. Or like our football friends with the birthday, younger than you. Happy birthday, sir. He says to the kid, quote unquote. So do that. Be good. Be nice. Behave. Be kind. Be patient. Be respectful. Be number 7. This is my most favorite one that I use a lot. To the point with my son, all I have to do is say, be number 7. And he knows what I mean. Okay, because there are knuckleheads out there who are always trying to give you the business. Be number 7, be a friend, but take no undue crap from anyone, ever. Simple as that. Now, hear those words. Be a friend, but take no undue crap from anyone ever. Undue being the operative words. If you step on your kazoo or their kazoo or whomever's kazoo, so to speak, raise your hand and own it. Raise your hand and own it. Take it like a man, like an adult, like a grown woman, like whomever. Take it like you own it if you screw it up. Because this just in, you're going to screw it up, whatever it may happen to be, because we're human. We're not perfect. We're not, okay? And that's okay. We'll get into that for a moment later toward the end. But be a friend. Be a friend. You see somebody needs a friend? Be a friend. Back to my days playing football in Wilkes-Barre for the Wilkes-Barre Blaze. This is, again, early 2000s. So we're talking now 23 years ago. All right. One of the organizational meetings right around now in February, March, we met at a nice pub on South Main Street, just up from Wilkes-Barre Memorial Stadium at Myers High School in Wilkes-Barre. And we met at this nice, I forget the name of it, I can see it. Man, I can see it. But we met and for food and for beverages, because we're all 21 and then some basically, and for discussion about coming back and putting the team together for 2000. There was a guy who, and I'm not a 98-pound weakling. I'm not as overly big as I once was, but at that point I was about the size I am now, maybe just a little lighter. I was 6'3", 245. Okay, I'm 35 years old. And we had the meeting. We're all sitting around talking about things for the team. Meeting breaks, and it's like, hey, who wants to have some beverages and get to just sort of hang around and schmooze a while? Everybody's yeah. So John Rockmore, he's standing by the bar, by himself with this pitcher of freshly tapped beer. And he's looking around like, is nobody going to drink with me? Okay. Here is this guy. He's about 6'1", and in his own words, John, what are you tipping him at lately on the scales? Yeah, I'm about 350. Wonderful guy, wonderful guy. We look like salt and pepper standing together because I, I'm the typical pretty fly for a white guy, and he's just a big, husky, robust African American fellow. He's nice, like, just with the wonder, and he had a smile. Probably still does. He's got a smile, lights up the whole room. Very infectious. And I looked over at him. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing standing there by yourself with that wonderful pitcher of beer looking for a friend?" He goes, "You drinking with me?" I said, "Hell yeah, I'm drinking with you. You look like you could use a friend." I didn't know be good, be nice, behave, be kind, be patient, be respectful, be a friend back then. I didn't know that. I'm like, "It looks like you could use a friend. I'm coming over. I got my glass. Let's do it." And he and I don't speak to him as frequently as I once did, and that's okay because when I do hear from him, we're still as friendly as we were 23 years ago. Super guy. Be a friend. He's standing there all by himself. So guess what? He needed, at that moment, he needed a friend. At least I thought so. So I was a friend. You see your friend, see somebody needs a friend, you be a friend. I've said that to my son for years. Somebody you see, they need a friend, you be a friend. Okay, and that's how it works. Okay, but again, take no undue crap from anyone ever. Family, friends, co-workers and colleagues, neighbors, the guy at the Walmart, whomever. No undue crap, because you know how it is, folks. People are going to jam you just for the same reason that the dog licks himself, because they can. You know what I mean? So, that's be number 7. Be a friend, but take no undue crap from anybody ever. Be resilient, number 8. Listen, life's going to happen. Life is going to happen. And here's one thing that I think has become more and more rare to find in people and more needed in the very next breath. Be resilient. Life is going to come at you. And to paraphrase from Rocky Balboa, ain't nothing going to hit you harder than life, okay? Not him, not her, not them, not anything. Nothing's going to hit you as hard as life does. And it's not about getting hit, because if you take those hits or accept, here's a better word, if you accept the hits, life will beat you and beat you and beat you down. And it will keep you down if you let it. Don't let it. Don't let it. It's not about how hard you can be hit. It's about taking the hits, shaking yourself off a little bit, getting back up and continuing forward. That's how life needs to be lived. That's how life should be lived. That's how life was lived, period, until not too very long ago, when it's, well, we have to make sure that little Timmy or little Sally has a safe place. What? No. Okay, lean into it. Life is going to happen. Lean into it. Don't cower away, because what happens is it's one thing when you're 4 or when you're 6 or when you're 9, because you're little children. You're children. You're figuring it out, and you're going to need, whether it's your teacher, whether it's your mom and dad, whether it's your grandparents, whether it's your uncle and auntie, or even that nice neighbor, who's parent like. Yeah, you need somebody to help you out, because again, you're 7, okay? But then all of a sudden, you don't learn anything in 10 years. Fast forward, you're 17. Another 10 years, you're 27, and you're still, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You lean into it and figure it out. That's what you do. But I don't know how. Figure it out. I just told the story not too many days ago about this very thing. I don't sew. Okay, where I went to school, we didn't have classes to help us, to teach us things to do when life comes at you, rather. I went to a prep school, okay? I didn't want to go there. I didn't. I went there from 7th through 12th grade. The first 3 to 4 years, I absolutely hated it and loathed it until I came into myself, grew into myself as 15 and 16 and 17 years old. And then finally, it wasn't so crappy. I still didn't love it, but there were people and there were circumstances there who made it exceedingly better. Thank God. And I did thank God. Still do. But the one thing that they didn't offer, I never knew how to sew. I didn't know how to balance a checkbook, even though Dad was a banker. I didn't want to hear from my dad. You kidding me? The hell does Dad know? He's only a banker. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Banker schmanker. We didn't learn how to cook. We didn't sew. None of this. You know, they didn't teach us, anything relative to working with our hands, whether it was wood, metal, automotive, computer, which was very early on, by the way, and I still didn't get it. But they didn't offer. They didn't offer that. Okay, so as a result, fast forward. I graduated high school in 1982. Fast forward about 5, 6 years later, I'm at work at the radio stations at WILQ FM and WLYC AM in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, a Lemco communications station. And all of a sudden, I get to work and oh, the button on top of my pants. What am I going to do? What am I going to? Hey, Alice, Jan, Sharon, Barb, little help. What do you need? Do any of you have a sewing kit or know anybody's got a sewing kit here? Oh, I think Sue Andrews does. Okay, can I borrow it? Yeah, what's up? Button came off the top of my pants and now I can't button the top of my pants. Oh, you want me to fix it? Well, I kind of have to take them off. Otherwise, it would be a little familiar. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, here you go. Here's a sewing kit. And okay, great. I'm going to go right down the hall to the next door, down to the storage room, and I'll be back. If I need something, I'll pound on the wall because it was just on the other side of the wall to where I was. Okay, so I go down. I don't know. I've seen Mother use the sewing kit. I've seen Mother, put a button on or mend a pair of pants. I've seen my grandmother do all kinds of wizardry with a sewing needle and a sewing machine. Sewing, schmowing, I have no idea. What did I do? I did not snowflake out, first of all. No. I took my pants off down in the storeroom, looked at the button, and said, okay, I've got 4 holes, I got a bunch of thread, and I have my pants. I can kind of see on the pants here how they did it. Well, even if it's just for now, till I get back to Jersey in a couple of weekends, that Mother can fix it for real. So I, in, out, in, out, in, out. 5 minutes later, the thing is, okay, I think we're good. Put the pants back on, zip them up, button them up, belt buckled, tie back up, shirt tucked in, bingo, bango, Jimmy John Django, I'm ready for the day. Now, you get some of these wishy-washy, mamby-pamby, milk toasty. What do I do? It's making me feel unsafe, or makes me feel, insecure that I can't. Oh, my pants. What am I going to do? You just do it. Is what you do. Be resilient. Life's going to happen. Lean into it. Don't cower and melt like a damn snowflake. That was number 8. Number 9, be coachable and adaptable. Okay, be coachable. This just in. You don't know it all. There you go. There you go. If you take nothing from Uncle John today, take that with you. And it means you, small y, meaning all of us, the collective you, don't know it all. We don't. I know a lot. And I also don't know quite a bit too. I have to tell you. Okay? Be coachable. Be coachable because you don't know it all. Be adaptable as well, because here's another Coach Evansism. Adapt, adjust, and overcome. I threw another one in there because it just makes sense. And I told him, I said, Coach, because I had to speak for him one time. He wasn't feeling up to snuff one day. He's like, John, I got a speaking engagement at the such and such of football banquet. I can't make it. Could you fill in for me? And here's what I was going to do. I said, well, what if I did this? Did a speech about did a session about your adapt, adjust, and overcome. But I'd call it adapt, adjust, improvise, and overcome. Hey, I like that. So that's what I did. So you have to be adaptable, adapt, adjust, improvise, and overcome, which brings me back to number 8, resilient, which brings me back to I had to fix the button on my pants, having never sewn a thing in those first 23 years of my life. Never had to. Not that I wouldn't, just mother being the mother that she was, oh, I'll take care of that. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, she saw something that needed to be done, sewn, fixed, whatever, before it became a problem. Like on the sport jacket with the pockets sewn on, like a pocket looked like a U, okay, and they sewed it on around the perimeter. Well, she saw that there was one time she saw some stitches were missing, and I had to wear a jacket to stupid crap school, okay, that prep school. So she saw some stitches were missing, and it looks starting to look kind of shabby. She says, "Give me that jacket. I'll be right back." She goes wherever she went into the room, and all of a sudden she comes back, done, quick as you wink, okay, because she knew that I needed to adapt to looking how I needed to look, okay? And she was going to help me. Now, 5, 6, 7 years later, when I'm on my own, I had to adapt myself. Still do oftentimes. It's okay. It's fine, okay? Adapt. Be coachable, or be coachable and adaptable. This way, by being coachable and adapting to whatever comes at you at the same time or in subsequent breaths, so to speak, you're going to be better at things and you're going to be set up to be more successful. Why? Because somebody who knew it better, whatever it is, coached you a little bit. Why? Because by adapting to your situation, the next time the button falls off on your pants, on your shirt, on your collar, on your coat, you grab that sucker, the needle and thread, and put it right, there you go, right through the deal, and 5 minutes, problem solved, situation corrected. Ta-da! Number 10, be professional. Now, you might think, well, wait a minute. How does somebody younger, maybe, be professional? Or how does somebody who's just, Joe Six-Pack, so to say, professional? Why? What do you mean? This goes back, again, to many different scenarios, not the least of which being sports related or just people related. Act like you've been there before. Okay, whether it's out at a nice restaurant and you look around you and you see how everybody's conducting and comporting themselves. Okay, they're not belching and chugging beers or sodas or taking big giant bites of food and oh, pardon, yeah, no, they are acting like civilized ladies and men enjoying a fine meal at a fine restaurant with friends, family, colleagues, or whomever the heck else, okay? Even if you've never gone to a fine dining establishment as a child, as a teen, as a young adult, whatever, look around, see your surroundings, act like you've been there before, okay? Don't be a nut. Don't be Howard Stern's father. I told you not to be stupid, you moron. Well, exactly. Don't be Don't be stupid, you moron. Act like you've been there before. Okay. And that goes even back to football. I had a team to where I said, listen, we are like IBM. And they looked at me, I said, no. See those guys over there? All ripping and tearing and carrying on and hooting and, just being like a bunch of savages. Well, yeah, they kind of are, coach. I said, yes, I know. Okay. That's not us. We go to work. We go to work. We put our black pants, our Vegas, shiny Vegas gold jerseys with the black numerals surrounded by a white perimeter, and our gold helmets with black face masks on, like we are putting on a pinstripe suit and a fedora with our briefcase, our attache case, going to IBM in Midtown Manhattan. We, gentlemen, are going to work for the next 60 minutes on the football field as professionals. When you score a touchdown, I don't want to see back flips, front flips, side flips, or stunts. I want to see you hand put it, touch it down onto the turf in the end zone, and then hand it to the official. Act like you've been there before, and then do it again. Make the tackle on defense. Get up, and don't dance around like a banshee like Mark Gastineau used to do. Used to drive me nuts, even in high school. There we go, ripping and carrying on like he just, who the hell knows, like he just did. But he would do that. If you remember Mark Gastineau for the New York Football Jets back around circa 1980-81. He was good. Problem was, he knew it. Don't do that. Be professional. Act like you've been there before, okay? Be a leader, number 12. I beg your pardon, I skipped 11. Be strong. Be strong, number 11. Be strong. Be strong with your health, with your convictions, with your abilities. With health, you know what? It can be difficult. Sometimes curveballs come at you that you never see coming. I'm a diabetic. 10 years ago, I was not, okay? 7 or 8 years ago, I was not, okay? Until I was, all right? My uncle said it. When I turned 40 years old, my uncle Ken from Florida, said, John, 40 is not the problem. 50. When you get to around 50, give or take a few years, that's when things you never thought of are going to come at you. I'm like, yeah, okay, right, good. Thanks for the birthday card. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, let me tell you what. Since I've been about 53, it's been nothing but a goat rodeo. You know, a septic infection here, diabetes there. Another incident where I had, because of my neuropathy, because of the diabetes, I had an infection in the bottom of my foot, which precipitated a toe having to be taken off. Okay, so I have 9, not 10 toes now. Oh boy, but that's nothing. It's nothing. Again, adapt, adjust, improvise, and overcome. It's nothing. It came, it went, and here I am. But be strong. I am now strong with my health to where it could have been said that maybe I wasn't as strong with my health. Be strong with your health. Know your person, know your body, know how you act, interact, react, and counteract with stuff that comes your way. With your convictions, you know what's good for you. You know what's right for you. You know what's best for you. Nobody knows what is best for you better than you do. Believe me when I tell you, because I've said it these last few weeks, there are people out there who are supposedly in charge, whether it's of one thing or another, an organization or the government or something the hell else, and they'll say, no, we know what's better for you, what's best for you, I should say, better than you know what's best for you. How is that? No, Be strong in your convictions and be strong in your abilities. You know what your wheelhouse is. You know what your wheelhouse is, what you're good at. We had this discussion not too long ago with the folks at Hamilton Radio, who basically, the four of us who quote unquote run things around here. Okay? I'm good at what I'm doing right now with you, speaking with you, and I'm good because I've done it for 36 or 7 years, at the marketing, at the sales, at the creative, at the ideas, and putting them all into a manageable scenario to where, as an advertiser, I can put something together that's going to help bring our people to your product. That's what we do in media, in traditional media, whether it's online, on air, terrestrial radio, TV, cable, what have you. All we do is bring people to product. That's the bottom line. That's it. If you want to promote, if you want to market, if you want to advertise your products, your services, your abilities, and business. Okay? So I don't get involved in the technical because you know why? That's not where my abilities lie. I let Gene do that. I let Ruben do that. That's where their abilities lie. Be strong in your abilities. Don't try to be a techie when that's the last thing you should even consider possibly thinking about doing, let alone doing. Be strong with your health, in your convictions, and your abilities. Simple as that. You'll thank yourself for it later. Be a leader. Number 12. That's a dozen, cousin. Be a leader. Be your own person. My mother used to, years ago, she would say, don't be a follower. Don't be a follower. Because I see somebody or hear somebody doing something that resonated with me. I'm, again, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. I'm in elementary school. I'm, as Rush used to say, I'm the quintessential young skull filled with nothing but mush. Okay. Nothing had congealed yet. Nothing had formed. That's it. Not yet. I'm a kid. Don't be a follower, but I would see stuff. I would hear stuff. Whoa, what's that? What's that? What's that? And I would emulate it. I would impersonate it. I would imitate it. And then I would put my own spin on it after I got down whatever I wanted to get down, whether it was how to walk, how to talk, how to act, how to impersonate somebody, how to run my little train set and put like villages and little buildings up, because I saw my friend Bob, he did it. Oh, I kind of like how his little train village looks. So I did it similarly, not exactly the same, even as a kid, not exactly the same, but similarly. Well, what my mother would see, for example, is that I was following. That wasn't necessarily it. I'm sure there was a good bit of that as a younger kid, but that was not necessarily it. Don't be a follower. Don't be a follower. Be your own boy. Be your own person, she would say. And when you're 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, you're only picking up maybe 20% of what she's dropping. She at that point is in her 40s. Um, I'm, I'm I'm 7. Okay. It's 1972, and I just turned 7 in October of 71. It's now February, March of 72, and she's given me this business, and she's what, 46, 7 years old, somewhere in there. What? I mean, I now know grandparents who are in their mid 40s, so she could have been, and dad, 2 generations ahead of me, certainly 1.5. But she always said, "Don't be. There are too many followers. There's not enough leaders. You have the ability. You have the smarts. You have. You just need the motivation." I'm like, okay, this is you stop. Even back then, you need to is basically what I heard, and even back then, that was when you lost me. But fast forward now to 58. Yeah, be a leader. Be your own person. Okay. Um, don't be a flaming idiot. That's not what I'm saying. Well, I want to identify as a magnolia. Okay, don't be don't be that own person. That's not what I mean. Okay, you've got male, you've got female. That's it. Okay, within that, do your thing, however you do it. Be a leader, and it may be of one little thing. You may have one thing that you're exceedingly good at. Lead in that area. Be your own person in that area, of course, and however else. Don't be a social drone. Don't be one of the sheeple just following the masses. Oh, look there they go. See ya. Oh, I thought, hey, Phil, I thought, no, he's a sheep too. Okay, whatever. Let him follow. No, don't be that. Be a leader. Be your own person. Again, convictions, people, have them and do them. Lastly, I would always end my little, drop off at school, drop off at practice, drop off at Cub Scouts, tuck into bedtime with number 13, which is, and always be your best. speaks for itself. Even Jack as a little kid, my son, knew what that meant. Okay. Now that can be different too from person to person. It can be. You may be the finest singer, but you can't act worth a damn. You may be the finest basketball player, can't throw a football. You may absolutely pitch a baseball or hit a baseball like nobody's business. Put you on hockey skates, it's like you got three left feet. You know, you may be the greatest dancer. You know, I wonder why he's the greatest dancer that I've ever seen, says the song. Gotcha. But seriously, you may be the best dancer around. Can't play a musical instrument to save your life. It's okay. Be your best. Always be your best. Okay? Simple as that. Don't let other people connive and cajole and wheedle their way into telling you what you should be the best at. I got that thrown at me too. Now here's the other side of the mother and dad coin. I ended up being okay at it, but not like they wanted. When I was 5 years old, my great uncle Charlie and his wife moved from just south of Harlem in uptown New York, which I think is now a part of Harlem. So what? It's a great area now too. Wasn't back in the early 70s. Now it's a pretty good area. But they moved from an apartment with a sunken living room in New York City to St. Louis. Okay. They had a baby grand piano. They didn't want to schlep that thing halfway across the country. So I don't know if they gave it to mother and dad, or mother and dad bought it, or mother and dad paid for the move, or it doesn't matter. I was 5. We got the baby grand piano. Okay, this would have been 1970. By 1973, they were sick of seeing it just sitting in the living room and nobody playing it. So guess what John got to do? John got to take piano lessons. John had no, meaning me, I had no interest in playing the piano. None. If there was a number under none, that was the number of interest that I had as an 8-year-old, 1973. So that would have been almost 9-year-old playing piano. Okay. I had no interest whatsoever. And Gino, just so you know, I'm coming around the clubhouse turn, heading for home because I'm working remotely. He's down in Hamilton and I'm in East Brunswick. So there you go. I had no interest in piano, but yet it was, I'll give you 2 of them. First was the piano. Well, why don't you try it? Oh, why don't you just try it? To me, okay, I'll give it a go for a couple of lessons. If I don't like it, I'm out. Oh no. I played piano. I took piano lessons for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 years. I had no interest. But then all of a sudden, I started getting decent at it. Okay. I hated the fact that when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, that my buddies would come to the front door, ring the bell at, I don't know, 3:30 in the afternoon, because we get home from school. School was done 2:35 and we get home by quarter of. Okay. So my mother would always say, well, why don't you get your hour of daily practice in now? This way it's done and you can go out, when you're done. Well, meanwhile, 3:15, the guys come ringing the doorbell, and of course I stopped playing because Johnny Faggy Cream Puff's playing piano. Yes, I said Faggy Cream Puff because it was the 70s. That's the way it was. Deal with it. Okay. So I didn't want him to hear. My mother would always say, oh, he's in the middle of something right now. He'll probably be out by about 4 o'clock. Oh, okay. Tell him we'll be over at Brian's house, or tell him we'll be riding bikes down by the thing, or tell him we'll be here. Okay. It was embarrassing. Okay. Sometimes I go, we get home and listen, we're going to meet over at Brian's house. Brian had a big side yard. We're going to meet at Brian's house at 3 o'clock. We're going to play ball. Okay. And my mother would say, well, when are you going to practice? I said, I'll practice after. Well, you need to come home at 4:30 because you need to be done by 5:30. Your father will be home at 6. 4:30. And she'd come out the front door yelling up, John, you need to come home and practice. Meanwhile, all the fellas were out and they heard that. Great. Just great. So I figured back the first few weeks, yeah, oh, my dad, this was my dad's patented line. Oh, just try it. Just give it a try. All right. Well, 6 years later, okay. Similarly, I'm going to say within a year or two at most of that, one of our good friends, or one of our family good friends, the Donahues, Mrs. Donahue, she was the head of the youth choir at our church. That's how we knew them, through church. And she was up. I came home from school one day. It was a Wednesday because or Thursday, I beg your pardon, because that's when I remember when youth choir practice was on Thursdays afternoons down at the church. I come home, Mrs. Donahue's there. There's this big box on the table. I'm like, what's that? And my mother said, oh, Mrs. Donahue brought this along. Figured you may want to, give this a look. And here it is. It's the like Baltimore Ravens purple with the metallic gold fabric collar choir robe in my size. Well, just try it. Just try it. See what you think. And by that time, I'm like, here we go again with this just try it crap. Well, I got hoodwinked into that I didn't want to do. I just didn't. Not that I wasn't musical with piano or with the singing. I just didn't have any desire for it. Okay. Now, again, this goes back. I say that to say this for number 13 about always being your best. It's different from person to person. There are things that I wanted to do that I was not able to do because other people, namely, and this is not a shot, it's just a fact, namely my parents knew, wink, not really, knew what was best for me when that's not what I wanted. I did not want to go to prep school. I wanted to work with my hands. I had another friend of mine from the neighborhood, Alex. We had it. We as even in our little kid way, from age 8 on to about age 11, we had it that we were going to be the AJ car painters. Okay, we're going to we're going to open a body shop. We loved cars. We both loved cars. And that's what we wanted to do. And all of a sudden it was, no, you're going to prep school. I'm not going to have some grease monkey, so to speak, as a son. It wasn't said to me, but it was said to me, if you know what I'm saying. I didn't want prep school. I didn't. I wanted a shot to go to the junior high school. Yes, I knew it was a bit of a chicken rodeo. I knew that. But you know what? What I also knew is I wasn't even being given a shot, an opportunity. Basically, give me 7th and or 8th grade. And if it's no good by then you can send me wherever you want to send me for 9th grade through senior in high school. Nope, I wasn't even given the opportunity. And I say that because always being your best, that's going to vary, once again, from person to person. It's not the same. We're not the same. I'm not the same as you, him, her, them. I'm not. Always be your best and know what you want within being your best. And then you know what you want. You don't let somebody, again, Rocky, don't let somebody stick a finger in your face and say you ought to be doing this or going here or doing that or going there. You know what if you know what you want, if you know what you're worth, then go out and do it. Go out and do it. That's why I started playing football again after 18 years at age 35, because until I grew into football, okay, I was 15 years old. It took me 7th, 8th, 9th, and into 10th grade to get myself into football. Meanwhile, all these other kids were playing since they were 8 years old. They had a 4-year jump on me, okay? They were already at full go by the time I was just coming into form. That's why I went back and did football as an adult, or at least a good reason. Plus, I just wanted to, okay? And I did okay at it. I really did. It was fun. Always be your best, okay? One more time. Be good, be nice, behave, be kind, be patient, be respectful, be a friend, but take no undue crap from anybody ever. Be resilient, be coachable and adaptable, be professional, be strong, be a leader, and always be your best. And as always, as we do this, continue along the way to relentlessly pursue perfection. That's an excellent, I beg your pardon, that's an ongoing effort to achieve excellence. By pursuing perfection, we will achieve excellence. Okay? That's the constant concept here. Every week, every time, every session here, along with positivity, being upbeat, can do, and of good cheer. That's exactly the ticket. It's highly worthwhile. It's these efforts are extremely worthwhile, and it's all as we continue forward to what? Attain that common ground. Trust me here, folks. Take it to the bank. Do not doubt me. And as always, by these things I stand. You should too. Again, take what you can use, leave the rest. I'm giving you information. Do with it what you will. Folks, that's all of it. I appreciate you spending time with me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I hope you take some things off of these visits that you could use. Again, take what you can use and leave whatever else. Okay. Give the rest of the week your best shot. Have a great weekend too. I'm gonna slide on out of here like I do. For now, I'll be back, and I want to say thank you, as I always do, for your time. This time, until next time, and God bless you too. Seriously, this has been Common Ground with me, John Theillon. Thanks again for watching and listening. So long.